appreciate no rude comments. Nothing, no comments that I would have to be forced to delete. I will delete comments that I do not want to have on this video. So please refrain from commenting stupid stuff like, this video was unneeded, this video was retarded, and this video was unnecessary, was not necessary. Hey lovelies, and welcome to my very first dedication video that I am doing. This video, as you've probably seen from the photo that I had right before, in the beginning, this video is dedicated to someone who is very dear to me. He was literally like a brother to me, and I really still cannot believe he's gone. In January. That's what the date in the beginning of that photo was the day that we got him. We got him in January of 2002, and and since then, because his name was already Duncan, we didn't want to give him a new name and all that, so we thought, well, why don't we just, because originally we went to, here's the story of when we got him. We went to a PetSmart in a town a couple minutes away, and we went in there because they were having an adoption day. We went in there expecting to get a small dog, because a little while ago, before then, it was 2002. We had moved into this house that I'm in now, in 1999. And a couple weeks after we moved out, our dog Jessie had died. So, so it wasn't until 2002 when we decided to get a new dog, and then that's when we went to the PetSmart that was having an adoption day a couple towns south from here, or east from here. I don't know if it's, I think it's east. We went and got a dog expecting to get a puppy, but when we went in there and they told us that there was some puppies that were going to be coming in soon, we decided, well, why don't we go get something to eat? When we came back, the puppies weren't there, or they had been there, but they'd already been adopted, and so my mom, she saw Duncan and instantly fell in love with him. We walked around PetSmart with Duncan, of course, with one of the little boys who was volunteering there, and we just decided to adopt him and take him home. And then since then, we had lived from 2002 to 2010. We lived with him here in the house. We loved him like with all our heart, and he was the best dog we've ever had. So Duncan became the biggest dog that my mom had ever gotten, because originally she got lab mixed dogs, but Duncan happened to be the biggest dog that we've ever owned. He was a Great Dane with a lab mix, and he was more Great Dane than lab, because if you notice the long nose, he had a long nose, he had the tall stature. He was literally a horse in a dog. This was Duncan's collar. It's still got some of his fur on it, especially right there. See his fur? It's got some of his fur on it. Here's his dog license, and then I cover a number, but there's his name. This is Duncan's collar, and we still have it because we think it's really rude to just throw away a dog's collar who is so dear to us. Like, I wouldn't throw away Coco's collar or Radar's collar or even Bella's collar, and Bella and Radar aren't even my dogs. Well, Duncan wasn't even my dog. He was my mom's, but he was like a brother to me. And so yeah, that was Duncan's collar. It was Duncan's lead. which we gave him. We had a choke, not a choke collar. I don't like calling it that. But we had this on here, and yes, I will say it is a choke collar. It was what because we didn't attach the leash to his collar. We put this around him because he liked to pull, and so this was his lead. He's actually gone through 4 leads, if I recall. He's gone through about 4 or 5 of them, and this was his latest one. I think he ripped a bunch of them, chewed through them all. I don't know why he chewed on the leads, but he did, and I think he went through about 4 leads before. So Duncan was a very schizophrenic dog, kind of. If you saw the photo that I had right before, it was me and him, and it looked like in our bathroom. He was terrified of thunder. We aren't sure what gave him the feelings of being terrified of thunder, but anytime he sensed thunder in the air, he ran straight for the bathroom. He always knew he was safe in there, and we would always just take pick up his big old dog pillow and take it in there, and he would lay on his pillow. I usually went in there and laid with him because I didn't want him to feel lonely, and I just felt like, hey, he's the best dog in the world. Why don't I just go comfort him in the time of the time that he's scared? But yeah. So this was Duncan's favorite toy. He would chew this end more than this. But we would always play tug of war with him, and if you can see like all his dog teeth marks and everything. But yeah, we would always play with him with this, and he would tug and tug. He actually got the hang of tug of war with this, and originally he didn't play right, but we taught him how to tug with it and everything, and all that stuff. Sorry. And then this was his second favorite toy, which is no longer Squeak. He always played with his toys until the Squeak was gone. These little ducks are my favorite too because I can make them laugh, but he's totally ruined it to where it doesn't honk anymore. Yeah, so this was his second favorite toy because he would always make it squeak. All of his toys, he would make them squeak, but those are the only 2 that we have. So a couple of Duncan's runaway stories. He didn't mean to run away, but when he gets out, he just loves to run. Because we have a very small backyard, and he's a big dog. He needs to run. So we'd always tell my mom, hey, well, why don't we take him to the school's football field, because that's a place where he can run and it's fenced in. That was until we knew where the dog park was. But yeah, so he always got out a couple times. This is before we fixed the fence and all that stuff. He would either jump in our pool because he loved to just go in there and lay on the second step, and because he would never go and swim in the pool, he'd either stay on the tanning bed or go down to the second step to where the water came to his shoulders, and then he would stop. He would not go any further. I mean, seriously, even if you antagonized him to come to the middle of the pool, he wouldn't, because I don't think he knew how to swim, or if he was just scared of it because maybe he had like a tragic accident with water. Which makes it kind of funny because he loved to take baths. The third runaway story was the saddest ones of all. That one was actually during 2010, and this one was the one that scared me the most. I had a friend over that day, my friend Ben, or, well, when we were friends. I don't know if we're friends anymore. But, I had my friend Ben over, and we were washing my car. So then my mom decided, well, why don't I take Ben home and be nice instead of having to call his parents to come and get him. So my mom was going to take Ben home. I opened the front door to come inside because I was going to go get some stuff. I was going to go and change out of my wet clothes that I was washing my car in to go change into some dry clothes to go with my mom to take Ben home. Well, the next thing I know, out the front door goes Duncan, zooming past the street, going out to the main road, running around, and he goes out to the main road. I zoom after him. I could not, or I tried to keep up with him. I jumped over that guy's fence that's right over there. I ran to the main road, down that guy's yard. Ran to the main road, ran around the corner, chased him all the way down the street here until I witnessed the most tragic thing happen. Duncan accidentally crossed the road and got hit by a car. It was okay because he got hit by the corner, rolled, and then, as stupid as the car was, decided to just keep going. Duncan rolled to the other side of the road, and it's a good thing a car was not coming the other way or he would have not made it. But he rolled to the other side of the street, got up, which scared the shit out of me because I thought he was gone. He was laying there for a couple seconds, then got up and then started running. He ran back into the neighborhood and ran home, which I was surprised that he actually ran home. I came back home and he was sitting on the front porch, scared shitless. And then I came in the house and saw a couple blood trails in here because he went straight into the house and laid down in his favorite spot. I saw a couple blood trails, and his paws were bleeding, and there was a couple bits of blood running down his legs, and because he had been hit by a car. So I was scared. I called my dad, I called my mom, and I said, Dad, Mom, I called my dad first, I think. I can't remember if it was what it was. But I called either my mom or dad first, I can't remember. And I said, Duncan had been hit by a car, he's bleeding, and he needs to go to the dog hospital. So my mom gets home quickly and takes him to the 24-hour dog hospital, and they said he was going to be fine. They just said he had a little bleeding from tumbling on the ground and all that stuff. And I think that was like during the summer, during the beginning of the fall or during the summer of 2010. And then the next thing I know, he was drinking too much. He was needing to go outside all the time. And we took him to the animal hospital, and they said he had a couple of bumps on him and all that stuff, like little lumps in his body, and they said they could take those out. Next thing we knew, he was still laying on the ground, still drinking so much, and we took him back to the animal hospital, and they said he had cancer. My mom went with him alone. I was sitting here in my house, crying my eyes out, not wondering if he was going to come back. And the next thing I knew, my mom comes home by herself. So I asked him, what goes on? My mom was crying. My mom was crying, and she told me that he had cancer. Sorry. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, my mom told me that she had to make a choice. To tell them to remove the cancer, and he would have lived but still been in pain. He would have lived and still been in pain, or put him down. And as tough as the choice was, my mom chose to put him down. That was November 1st, 2010, 10:30 p.m. That was the day I will never forget.